That was after the amended.
That's the amended version.
There you go.
Yeah,
you
that's
see?
the amended.
So now, this was the amended, and this is where the transition was still taking place.
Yeah.
You see, this is where the Martin Pestle Democrats are still threatening now. They say, well, we could join.
Well, you need to
St.
explain
John.
Martin Pestle Democrats. Because people think that when you say Democrats, you're talking about everybody. Whereas Martin Pestle,
that was part of the transition for the takeover. Unity was the political party that dominated St. Thomas. Democrats were the party that dominated St. Croix and St. John. The Republican Party was simply a third party. It was stronger than it is now. I said it, but it still could not contend with the other two. The problem was that St. John and St. Croix was being able to defeat St. Thomas. That was a problem. Now then, the transition came about is first to get the permission, the authority, if you will, from Congress to reapportion, which you did. So now you decide you're going to go from 11 members and 3 districts to 15 members
and two
districts. And at the time that this here is written out, you are at 15 members and 3 districts.
Right.
The transition that brought St. John together with St. Thomas had not yet fully taken place. And so that there were still 4 at-large senators.
So we haven't gotten to 66. We haven't gotten to 67 as yet.
Right. You see, this is our part of the transition because the previous setup, 11 members, was actually, what was it now? 4 at-large senators, yes. But also, there was 4,
it's 5.
3 as the number one. 3 district senators for St. Croix, 3 district senators for St. Thomas, and 1 district senator for St. John, making it 7.
Total 7.
7 district senators against 4 at-large senators. This was the structure.
That was the original 11.
Well, right. So that you move now, in part of this transition where you're reading now, the 4 at-large are still in place.
Okay.
But now the district senators have moved up to 11.
Okay.
Because St. John still have 1 now, but St. Croix and St. Thomas now have moved to 4 each.
Okay.
And then eventually they just said, well, I still don't think we're going to do it. Well, hey, this is what we're going to do because, hey, run the logo. They're good for nothing.
Yeah.
Mother, you say, I don't forget, every time we come to bed, I'll make sure I remember. I tell them, they're good for nothing. In exchange, because he lost his election, Aria Diaz beat him out.
Mm-hmm.
He lost. And this was the victory 66 that was supposed to be foolproof. But it turned out to be a sin. And so what happens now is that he is offered a position in Washington,
delegated to Congress,
that they now transition in Unity Party, who are now calling themselves Martin Pestle Democrats, say, well, hey, we could make you Washington representative and we give you a salary bigger than ours. You're joking. Y'all would do that for me? Yes, but then if you bring on them other good friends over there in St. Croix that's still saying these donkey Democrats.
Yeah.
And so that is what Randy Lugo did. He convinced everybody from Lowetts to Doward and all of them and David Hamilton, who were donkey Democrats, listen, you all in a losing situation here. You can't win. Just become Martin Pestle Democrats, always one. And that is what happened. They all became one. Randy Lugo got his big title. He was no longer Mango Jones. He was a Washington 3-piece suit politician, and everybody was happy because now the Democrats run thing and they can take care of everybody. And therefore it was left for the ladies. Like your grandmother and things who said over. So, oh yeah? You think we gonna just lay down and dead so? And they started the movement.
Which would be
Even Cyril King didn't think they could get it to work. But the women who brought that group together called ICM. Cyril King was a late comer. People nowadays selling bus. Well, so Cyril King a loser, so he had to start a party. Nothing tall, go so. The women of the Virgin Islands, you know, who refused to go along with this Martha and Pestle thing here with Atley and them says, nothing tall, go so. We ain't going with Iowa.
Wait,
We're going to make our stand right here.
slow down a little bit, because I mean I know the story, but I want to make sure everybody's clear about what you're saying. So it wasn't a group of politicians or elder men that decided that there was a problem in our community. Mm-hmm. It was actually women of our community that decided that there was a problem, and we ain't waiting for nobody, and we asking nobody, we'll take care of it ourselves.
That's right.
Okay.
That's
Again.
And the politicians came later because they're saying, but these women know what they're doing. They got them thing. And let me tell you, when you want to hear about door-to-door campaigning, hey, you check them ICM women. You know, they could tell you what time you're getting home from work and what time you're going to go pick up the children and when you go carry the grandchild back to the mother and say, and we're going to meet you right by the Taman tree.
I only need 5 minutes.
That's it.
I like that.
You know, and actually came to a point where the ICM was the dominant party in the Virgin Islands.
For a decade and 12 years. For 12 years, they were dominant here.
You know?
A force to be reckoned with. And by the way, so that we understand, and I've said it before, under the ICM banner, we built schools, we built roads, we built hospitals, and we didn't have a loan. So I think whatever it is they were doing, that's the practice that you need. So indebtedness was not something that they were about. You know, so that's something you have to pay real close attention to when you're looking at this modern day politics about bonds and loans. It's on the backs of the people, and so far we don't have enough children and people for the damage that they've done to us. Everybody's
you have to understand is that was before we give away all our revenues to corporations.
again.
Oh, we ain't got no choice now.
We went along with a program that didn't work for us. We were told it's no longer good to work hard, that hard work is a bad thing. You know, I gonna take care of you. The problem I have with that is you're the one determining how much care I gonna get. When I work hard for what it is I want. You ain't working hard for what it is I want. You giving me what you think I should have. And it may not be what I need or what I want. I'm not here to have somebody define me. And we have never allowed that. I've said it before. When the ICM party, for lack of a better way of describing it based on our history, the local ICM party would have been what the National Republican Party was. There was a problem within the party. Somebody in the party said, hey, we're going to take advantage of the people or do something wrong to the people. And a group in there said, hey, we're not on board with this, so we're going to leave and do the right thing. That's basically what's happening. So why is it so hard for us to see if we're going to do it based on banner that's not good for us? If we're going to do it based on history, we have always been and put ourselves in a position where we have taken care of ourselves, where the family was what was important, our community is what was important. Now we're being told, no, I don't want the father in the household, just leave him, make children and call it even. We don't want that. Call, you there? I think I lose him. Yeah, we don't want that. So when we talk about the reapportionment, that's one aspect. The election reform, yes, that's an education reform, another aspect. And there are groups that are coming out. You're hearing what's going on this evening. Well, the Committee for Afrocentric Empowerment, they have a whole month-long activities that they are going to be doing. Why? It's to recognize. We have great leaders and have had great leaders, and we will continue to have more. The Uplift October is a Liberty Day centennial celebration. D. Hamilton Jackson and the St. Croix Labor Union 100-year celebration, October 1 to November 1. It's sponsored by the Afrocentric Empowerment Committee. Hold on a second there. This evening, they're going to be introducing their upcoming events during the reenactment of the 1878 Fireband, which will be held down in Frederiksted at Yucca tonight at 7 p.m. I think we have a caller. Caller, you there? Caller, you there? Maybe not. All right, I think I lost the caller. Yeah, and then they're going to follow up activities with a collaboration with the Firewalkers, and a walk with our ancestors. And all right, I think we have a caller. We tried again. Caller, you there?
This me?
Yes, this is you.
Okay. So Mario Moorhead is there?
Yes.
Yeah, here, listen to you.
Okay, well, as somebody else said before, I didn't know the Yallow's family.
Yes, well, you know now, the Moorheads that we belong to, the same family, yes.
Okay, okay.
He is, yes, my brother that you might have been familiar with from Hess Oil and Hovensa,
Yeah.
Alex Moorhead. That's my brother and his father.
Okay, okay. So why I don't try and form my own party? Seriously?
I'm serious, but then when I ask you, well, how come you have the idea but you don't want to give it to somebody else for free?
that could be the solution that solves everything.
This is why I say it, so why are you giving it away for free?
Huh?
Why are you giving away this brilliant idea for free?
Well, I mean, sometimes and so you have to give, you know.
You're talking about sometimes and so, and about now. Why are you giving it away for free?
And why would you think that we're competent enough to handle such a task?
Well, I mean, come on, it's common sense. I mean, it's straight, you know. It's straight up, you know. Anybody, a blind person could say that.
Could see what?
It's obvious, the fact that you are a strong-minded people, and I mean, a deaf person could hear in the words that are brilliant and are are strong-minded, and I really mean for the Virgin Islands, and a blind person could see the results, you know.
Sound like somebody work for United Nations,
yeah, I was about to say, I'm very impressed.
Well, I mean, listen, let me tell you something, right? You see the Virgin Islands and they say we like to talk. Well, you come up a point when we mouth get tired that we can't talk no more. So what are you going to do when I mouth get tired? You got to act now, right?
But if again, when you hear things like people getting together, we just read that there's a committee of Afrocentric Empowerment. These are individuals that are getting together to make and cause changes in our community. The thing about it is when you hear these things go out, become a part of, increase their numbers. This is how the labor union had worked in the first place. But we sit home, or we call into the various talk shows and we say, well, we call Mario, we say, well, Mario, did you hear on another talk show, this guy wanted to go marching because they're trying to see if they could set the children in school on fire. And then everybody calls in about that, but no one actually gets together and say, well, let's go and prevent our kids from getting set on fire.
Exactly.
So that's, I think, what is being expressed to you. I mean, it's always good to say, and I personally don't have any issue with the support. But like I've said here on this station, if I have to stand up by myself, I'm standing up for what it is I believe in.
Exactly, and don't worry about nobody else. You focus on you know, your portion.
Yeah, and you know, there's not going to be any argument. I believe here in the Virgin Islands, specifically St. Croix, everything we need, we have it right here. We just don't have enough respect one for another to see that those things are here. Down to criminal activity, if you need somebody to break into your house, we have people that could do that. I'm telling you, why bring people here when you already have?
That's right. It's just like you're saying, right? The door is already open, but I can't push you through. You have to go to the door on your own. But the door is open for us for a long time, and for some reason we just don't seem to know to get to the door. You know? But I have one question before I go. Okay, let's say for some miracle, right? That I don't know, some miracle as God and the politicians them just wake up and just one morning say, well, you know what? Let me change, you know. Let me change, you know. And they didn't have any explanation why they think in a way, and they decide to change the structure how the government is, and decide to create a check and balance. You know, let's say we call it a miracle. how will you go about like arranging how would we go about arranging it? And let's say we decide, you know what, let's get balance up, check and balance, and just how I explain the district, this from St. Croix and this from how Mario was explaining it, when you break it down. So how would you go about it? You have to go through an election process. The people have to select know who they want to represent.
In the interesting time, all it takes is for a majority of the members of this or any legislative body to want to do it.
Yeah.
Then what you're doing is reapportioning the 15-member body. And I am suggesting we follow the same equation that had been in place since the legislature was formulated. And we therefore have checks and balance in a structure with 9 district representatives and 6 at-large representatives. The at-large representatives, I think everybody would understand, meaning that they are elected by every voter.
Yeah.
Virgin Islands wide. So they are representing the territory of the Virgin Islands. Everybody, all the islands. Then now, the 9 district senators will be broken down, where St. Croix would have a St. Croix East District and a St. Croix West District. 2 representatives for the East, 2 for the West. You go to St. Thomas, again, you will have a St. Thomas East District, a St. Thomas West District. 2 senators for the East, 2 senators for the West. Now then, you're up to 8 district senators. St. John would be a district, that would be the 9th. There is the foundation of your check and balance, where you have now 6 at-large senators checking and balancing 9 district senators. And to pass legislation, you must have at least 3 at-large Senate votes on that bill. And that is what creates the continual resolution, because district senators will have a need for at-large senators and vice versa.
Okay, well, I got one solution. Let me start keeping some noise, because we too quiet. Just how you talk right there, we got to start some kind of awareness and just keep pushing it in the face and in everybody's ears, so everybody could hear and understand how this new structure gonna be, and just keep pushing it. We formulate a way to put it on the ear and the radio, and just keep talking about it. I think that's the problem. We don't really talk about it. We once in a while we bring it up, but we need to just start getting serious, because we got to try something. Otherwise, we're gonna still be the same,
Like I say, you'll be singing to the choir. That's what we're doing there every week.
Because if you're in quicksand and so, right, and even though somebody trying to pull you out and so, if the person is secure themselves, the two you won't go down, So we got to try to find a different strategy, because that's why we keep on going on. Somebody thinking, well, they'll come with a different idea, and everybody going on in the quicksand. But we need to find a way to anchor. Whoever going to pull, anchor them so they wouldn't slip through the quicksand, and then they don't get the strength to pull you out, But we got to do it, start to keep noise and just pushing it, find a way, paid newspaper, radio, TV, and once they're in the face, then they can't hide from it, You know me, Mario?
I think I understand what you say. I think I understand what you say.
Yep. That's what you got to do. Because we too quiet and they figure, well, why? They forget, You know what I mean? They think that we, I just said stupidity, they forget,
Right.
So they could continue doing what they're doing. But we got to keep on, we get mad now, so we're going to push it in your face every day, every week, or whatever we do, newspaper, TV, radio, and bring up let the people start to know, well, you know what? We got to try something. But anyway, Mario, until next time, good show,
We appreciate your call. Appreciate your call.
All right, later.
All right, thank you. All right, folks, I think we have another caller. Caller, you there?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I greet you. Good. I'm greeting you in the spirit of 1878 and beyond. And I'm hoping that with all the knowledge and all the information that we have, being able to see what the goal is, that we may be able to move past the Revised Organic Act and what it represents for black people in the Virgin Islands. up until the point where we're having a discussion as to how we can arrive at reapportionment, and at the same time the answer is still there. It seems like it's not going to be attainable, simply because we're dealing with the documentation and the code to live by from previous slave masters. So if you go back to 1917 and 1930, the Act was passed. It was revised in 1954. In 1954, there was something happening throughout the Caribbean in 1952. But to get to this point now where we're discussing the reapportionment, we're never going to come out of bondage if we keep on entertaining the documentation that slave owners give black people. So in 1878, when you have the ladies getting to a point where they can no longer tolerate any conversation or any negotiation in reference to being treated fairly, we now in 2015 are discussing and trying to figure out ways of living freely or better by using the same documentation that slave owners left us with. How are we going to attain that if we keep on doing so? I would like for somebody to explain that to me.
Mario?
I don't understand what he's saying.
It was kind of true. I was trying to pace it. You want to surmise the question a little more concise?
How are black Melanites in the Virgin Islands going to be able to free themselves out of the current situation that they're in, where we're using a political system that was passed down from previous slave owners, right, to a code to live by? How are we going to move past these current situation if we're still entertaining those laws?
What laws are we entertaining?
The Revised Organic Act.
We're not entertaining, we live by it.
Yeah,
we are colonials.
I'm just curious. In the spirit of 1817, when you can no longer, we don't want to hear what Bakra have to say. We don't have to negotiate. We don't have to read it back. We're tired. We're going to bond this time and we're going to start over again. In that spirit, how are we going to move past the current situation where the kids are, our children are shooting each other in the street based on what's happening politically, right? How are we going to move past that if we keep on entertaining the Revised Organic Act?
I am a little confused, because if we're going back to the 1800s, if we're going back to before 1917, we're not even trying to entertain any Organic Act, which doesn't happen until the 30s. You're going into the 1800s.
That's what I'm saying. So 1917, transfer took place, right?
Right, but we're not recognized until with the first Organic Act until the 30s,
right.
36.
And in 1913, we were given the first Organic Act. Am I right?
Not 1913.
I'm sorry, 1933. I'm sorry.
It's 1936. 1936 was the first Organic Act. It was revised in 54 to give universal suffering.
Right, I was going back from the initial, 1930. But I'm trying to say that we were given that originally to govern the islands by, and then it was also revised in 1954.
Yeah.
Was something else was taking place in 1952. But this is what I'm trying to say now. Islands are sold from one slave owner to the next. That's just right. And in 1933, there was laws passed to entertain, to accommodate the people living on the island. Am I right?
I'm trying to follow you. Go ahead.
The citizens.
Okay.
And apparently it was revised in 1954. The contract, you have to forgive me for a second, I'm trying to multitask. It was revised in 1954, and here we go from the Revised Organic Act of 1954, trying to negotiate a political system that allowed a particular group out of St. Thomas that was being controlled by a certain group to go ahead and change the particulars of that act to accommodate or to accommodate the wishes of the selected few out of St. Thomas to be able to control the masses.
But okay, so the question being, because I have other callers and we get now the time. So the question being now?
How are we going to move forward to accomplish what Mr. Moorhead wants us to accomplish with the reapportionment of the political system?
Let me quickly just say, and then you could tell me if I'm lost, is that the Revised Organic Act is the constitution, the organic law by which the people of the Virgin Islands now live. No. We have been given several opportunities to write our own organic law, our own constitution.
Yeah.
We have been unsuccessful. Now you seem to be suggesting still another law. Well, what? And that's where I get lost. What law is it that you suggested now that we should be living and struggling under here now, because we have refused to write our constitution? So the constitution that is in place, the laws that we live by, are now those that were constructed and crafted in Washington, D.C. And that's how it's going to be until the people of the Virgin Islands decide otherwise.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. But in order for us to achieve our own constitution, we still have to go to Congress to ask for it. Am I right?
We have the authority. We simply have not been able to do that. The last time, just a couple of years ago, we simply did not. And, well, it was brought or closed by the legislature. I couldn't remember which one it was, but I think it was the president was Attorney Ronald Russell. And they made a final attempt in-house, and it didn't work out.
But so as not to take up a lot of time, because I don't.
But wait, let me get some other callers. At least one more caller in, because I'm already up on time and my music
All
played.
right, have a good day, gentlemen.
All right, thanks for the call. All right, caller, you there, caller? Caller, okay, I'll lose that one too. Okay, cool. Uncle Mario, I'll let you kind of wrap up, bro.
I don't know what to wrap up. I never get the present. My man finally.
You see you?
You know, he left us standing up there in the rain.
Yeah. That one, I don't know about that.
He didn't even have his umbrella for shelter or anything, you know, so I don't know what to do.
My galoshes.
And let us say that I am very grateful, you know, that my nephew, you know, the popular WSTX, you know, real talk show host, was kind enough, you know, to bring in the little but old rival, you know, to learn a few things here, and I certainly did, particularly from your callers, and I'm most appreciative. Thank you for the opportunity.
We thank you, and as usual, we always utilize you as one of our resources, and it is always a pleasure, not only for myself but for my listening audience, to have the opportunity to dialogue with you, whether here or on the street, and I know how that is. So I appreciate you coming, and I am hoping that we can do this again in the near future, but I gotta make sure we got our bases covered. All right, folks, listen, you've been listening to WSTX AM 970. It has been my pleasure sharing with you this week, and we will do this again next week, same time, same place. You've been in session with me, Robert Moorhead, and I'll see you next week on the flip side. Hi, this is Robert Moorhead. I'd like to invite you guys to join me every Wednesday and Thursday to tune in to In Session on WSTX AM 970 from 10 to 12 noon, where we discuss the flip side of our political, social, and cultural events. So join me as we discuss the flip side.